Well, hello there, Warning fans, and any other fans that may be watching. We are here for the two new songs. Really looking forward to this. The little snippets that they played on the pre save were encouraging. The Hell You Call a Dream sounded very different from when they did it live, but I'm really curious to see how it sounds when we really get going here. How about that album cover, though, by the way? Really, really cool album cover. I like it a lot. It's the colors on it are really nice. So I wish I had shot it. I would have loved to have gotten an opportunity to do something like that one day. I mean, for them, you know. So I read through the lyrics on the two songs prior to this to just kind of get an idea of where they're going. I'll probably talk about them a little bit when I do the song reactions. I did the translation for the Spanish one, and both songs were kind of tricky to figure out exactly, because usually they're saying one thing, but they're meaning something else. But they're meaning both things sometimes, and it was a little tricky to figure out what exactly they were saying. So I will tell you what my thoughts are on it, and you can figure out from there if it, jibes with what you think. Hopefully I'll be kind of close, but maybe they will talk about what the songs are about before when they do the announcement live. Okay, so finally got it all synced up, and we're going to listen to Hell You Call a Dream first. It's a very short song, so I think I'm going to listen to it all the way through. Then I'm going to go through and pick out parts. Okay? Well, we'll see. I might do it a little differently, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Kind of industrial sounding, you know?
I've been invaded by the need to stay inside this cage. Day after day I'm hurting, but I choose to stay this way.
That bass.
Running out of things to say. Isn't it normal to love what we hate? Treating me out just the same. I'm in too deep. Give me something to believe.
Wow.
And it's how you call a dream.
Love the ahs in the background. Yeah, that bass sounded nasty. But this one actually hits harder than they were doing it live in a way. Yeah, let me. Yeah, we'll be going back on this some. Initial thoughts are the mixing. Like I said, it's got a very industrial and like almost Rob Zombie hitting, maybe even a little Marilyn Manson-ish, but just in the overall tone. The bass is the nastiest bass tone Alley's ever had. At the end there, I'm sure all those diehard fans were listening to see if when Danny went up high on that part, if she ended up just singing the other part that Alley is singing live. Just those couple of lines. It just sounded like Danny singing them on the recording, which I'm always hoping that they'll have Alley sing the parts that she sings live, just because of the difference in voices. I think her voice adds a different texture that, when they do it live. And I always want that in the recording as well, just to kind of get that, that different feel. Because when one person's recording all the harmonies and stuff themselves, it has a different feel than, and now they may have done all the gang stuff. I'm sure they did all the gang vocals together. It's just those little things, like with Choke, when Ally comes in and sings that one little section. Of course she didn't do it on the album, but she does it live, and there's always that hope. But I'm sure she is perfectly content to let Danny sing away. As far as the rest, I want to listen to it again, because I want to listen for little sections, and this time I'm going to stop here and there, because I want to hear what's going on in the background, as well as the guitar tones and things like that. First time I was just taking it in. So let's go ahead and start it off again. It really has a much different sound than it did on the live versions that we saw. So here we go. The bass tone. One thing I really like that she's doing is on this album, on this CD, is Danny is playing a little more with dynamics of her voice in little sections, like in Sick, when she flipped up into falsetto a little bit and a head voice, and just for that couple lines, it just made all the difference, because it's a moment, and that's what you're always looking for in these, are moments. But right now the rhythm section is carrying this, and then the guitars are adding the beef. It's really, it's well mixed in a particular style. It's still odd getting used to Danny's vocals being so processed, because we're kind of used to, on the other albums, and being very clear and kind of how she sounds live, whereas on here they're processing them a little bit more and putting a little more distortion on them and things like that. And it bothered me at first in Sick, until I listened to it a couple times, and then it was like, I actually really like the mix on this. And the guy has a knack, I should say they all have a knack, since they wrote the songs together and then work on what they're adding in for what will end up being on backing tracks and little sounds and all the little embellishments. I think they found the right producer for what they're trying to accomplish.
And it's how you call a dream, colliding every time. The chaos drives me wild like an animal. Just wanna breathe.
And one of the things I love right there is Powell's hitting that little uh, effects symbol. It's pretty much like a china on the little offbeats. And freaking love those. Her drumming is deceptively complex in places. I noticed that with Sick at the beginning of it when it's just coming in and it's the kick with the snare. You know, the snare's hitting, but if you listen to the kick pattern, it is not standard at all. Her kick pattern is really, really pretty nicely complex, at least to me. I believe it is. And I imagine more I listen to this, the more I'm going to hear that her kick patterns are, because she's always spot on with them, on making them interesting and not where you would expect them to be a lot of times. And I'm sure I'm going to back it up just a little bit here.
Drives me wild like an animal. Just wanna breathe. And it's how you call a dream. My vision's blurry as the pain keeps crawling up my skin. The pressure's building and I'm on the verge of caving in. Praying up for the kill. If this can't
The girl knows how to make a groove.
We're suffering just for the thrill. I'm in too deep. Give me something to believe.
Something else they utilize better than, I mean, their stops just give you that brief second pause so that they can punch you in the face again right when they come back in. And I love it.
And it's how you call a dream. Colliding every time. The chaos drives me wild like an animal. Just wanna breathe. And it's how you call a dream. Eyes are always open in the dark. I've been underwater right from the start.
The other thing I'm noticing is he's laying heavily into the gates on the bass and the guitars. For people that don't do mixing and all that, when you gate something, it just cuts the sound. You don't, because when you stop a chord on a guitar that you're choking, there's always, like, instead of it just going junk, it goes jung. It has this little die off. But if you put a gate on it, really heavy gate, it just goes junk, junk, and stops. And he's doing a lot of that on here. I noticed it at the beginning because live it didn't have as much of that just stopping gated sound. But the bass and the guitars are doing that on here quite a bit.
Hope is wearing thin. I can't take anymore.
Oh. Let me run that back. Listen, if your headphones are the right direction. On the right-hand side, there's a guitar on the side climbing. It's going it's climbing as they're hitting the other chords here. Just listen over to the side.
From the start, hope is wearing thin.
Right there, it's
I can't take anymore. Give me something to believe.
Oh, that was a very nice subtle
And
touch.
it's how you call a dream.
I love the piano there.
Colliding every time. The chaos drives me wild like an animal. Just wanna breathe. Maybe I wanna be. And it's how you call a dream.
All right, that section when Danny went up to those higher notes, she's hitting those higher notes so much better than she used to get up to, but that's just maturity in your singing. But she's getting up to those high notes so much better and nailing the pitch on them as she gets them. First live version of Hell You Call a Dream, she impressed the hell out of me with her singing on that. And I love that Ale got to come in and sing those couple of lines as well while Danny was riffing up high. Let me go back just a little bit right there.
And it's how you call a dream, how you call a dream, colliding every time. That chaos drives me wild like an animal. Just wanna breathe.
That China.
And it's how you call a dream.
Now see there at the end, they let it ring out just that little bit instead of stopping it, because it would have sounded so abrupt if they had just gated the end and just killed it. Very, very cool. I looked over the lyrics on this, and what I gathered from it, and I could be way, way off, was basically, and it could be a regular relationship or a relationship in, them with social media and all that, which they are very big on writing about. But it felt like someone who's in that relationship where you're taking either verbal or emotional abuse and staying in it. The other person just thinks it's their dream. So it's the hell you call a dream is how I was taking it, that you feel stuck in it and you're not getting out, even though you're caged in. But I need to delve into the lyrics more, because their lyric writing is getting harder. It's not as direct a lot of times now. So it's a little, you got to work your way through it. It's kind of like a Tool song where you're going, wait, what do they mean there? So anyway, I am going to go ahead and switch to the other song now, and let's give that one a go. And hope you have a great day, great night, great life. Subscribe if you haven't. That would be helpful. And do all those things and click like. All right. You have a wonderful time. Bye.